maybe another week I'll feel okay about it. But at any rate, I have to make changes now. I only have one day open during the week that I'm not communicating with her, so I'm trying to grab any fence visits and all I can while the weather allows it.
Well, I certainly understand that. It makes good sense. And your wife comes first, so take care of her, and then we can go shooting when you get the chance. Back to you, Tom.
Roger. It's KD4CMK, Midlothian, Virginia, for our Monday night Rag Chew. If anybody else wish to join us, please come.
KX4QC.
Well, I'm not going to say you're way out in Amelia, but we have a good copy on you, John. Go ahead.
Good to hear, everyone, and we are still where we are in Amelia, and the rain has stopped, and it's all looking much, much better, and I'm feeling so happy because I'm using an ICOM 7610 right now, and the net that I barged into by mistake, thinking that it was this one, guess what they were discussing? Oh, the best radio in the world, and you know, I didn't say a word. KX4QC.
Roger that. Well, it sure sounds good, John. That's a nice radio.
Roger that. I love it. It's I'm still finding new things in the box, and whereas I used to reach for an oscilloscope, I reached for a recorder, reached for a scratch pad memory, and the whole thing is all in one box. It's so nice. I wouldn't have paid full price for it, but I was lucky to get it from DX Engineering at just a little over half price because it was a store demo one. But they gave me full warranty, so what the heck. KX4QC.
KX4QC, KD4CMK, you can't beat that, John. Half price, full warranty. Hey, that's my kind of price.
Amen.
All right, KG4BIZ, Tom.
Yes, again, KD4CMK, KG4BIZ, Tom. Yeah, I'm steadily fiddling around here in the shack there. John, I'm able to copy you well there. That, 7610, is that the same one that Ricky has over?
Oh, KG4BIZ. I don't know. I have a feeling that it is. Most people who have it like it. In fact, they like everything except the price. KX4QC.
Yeah, Ricky, KX4C there, KG4BIZ. Yeah, he looked around for a little bit until the price came down, and I think he's had his about a year. And that is a fine piece of rig there, that's for sure. But anyway, hey, have you found out, have you lost any more goldfish, over?
Negative. We're down to 2, and they are frightened stiff. They flit about from one hiding place to another. I got an idea that heron came back, and they know what it looks like now. Oh well, never mind. 2 survived, and otherwise we're doing well. KX4QC.
Well, thank you very much, John. Thank you very much there. So, KX4QC, KG4BIZ. Just thought I'd ask about the goldfish there, but at least you have 2 left there. I hope it's male and female, over?
Amen. Even in these enlightened days, it still makes a difference. KX4QC.
KX4QC, KD4CMK. Well, if they aren't, John, I think you have a future in writing biology text.
Only for some states, so I'm told. KX4QC.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, okay. I can see it in front pages now. Academic work, I would believe it. I can see you being sued for a scientific work because it goes against, that dates back to the Middle Ages.
Well, I don't know, but I hope that I wouldn't get burned at the stake. But at this age, one of the nice things about being a few birthdays the better is they can't lock you up for long, you know. KX4QC.
Oh, but they can still burn you at the stake.
Roger that.
Okay, it's KD4CMK in Midlothian, Virginia for the Monday Night Rag Chew group. Do we have anybody else wishing to join? Please come.
WB4YMA.
WB4YMA, KD4CMK. Hello, Paul. Go ahead.
Yeah, KD4CMK, WB4YMA. Good evening to everybody. A little noisy this evening on the frequency. Have a few static crashes and other kinds of strange noises on here. Did some work on the trains. I did get the signals installed. They're not working properly at this point. I have to do some adjustment. I did talk to the factory about it today, and I have to figure out just what I've got doing wrong. The one signal, he asked me what it was looking at, and I said it was looking at a mountain, and he said that actually could be creating a problem with the signals. So they're all showing stop rather than go. So I have to see what's going on. I may have to pull them out and put them on the bench and see what happens with that. Other than that, that's about all we got going on right now. So back to you, Tom, KD4CMK, WB4YMA.
WB4YMA, CMK, are they visible light or infrared?
It's my understanding it's photocells.
Okay, so was it send out a laser beam and get the reflections?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that ought to be interesting. I can see you painting the mountain now to allow it to work over.
Well, what he told me to do was actually put a piece of tape on it to cut down the the diameter of the photocell and see if that does it. But I also have an adjustment on it that I can adjust the sensitivity, and I haven't done that yet.
Oh, that ought to be interesting. What do you think of, now you're into real electronics here, setting bias voltages and doing optical adjustments for a model train. Okay. More and more complex, but that's neat.
Yeah, at least it's not this DCC stuff. I mean, that even gets more complicated. I've read a bunch about that, and I'm going, oh, man, don't want to get into that. There's a lot of nice features to it, but I can't see it.
Oh, you'll do it sooner or later. I see it has a lot of applications, especially in complex installations and very large installations. I can see that would be a lot of fun over.
Yeah, roger that. Definitely in large installations. I mean, mine's only, 5 by 5 by 11, something like that. And I mean, this is really too small for that DCC stuff.
Roger that. I understand. I cut my teeth on a standard American Flyer contactor system, and even though the new engines have a little bit more sophistication, you're still controlling there with standard transformer.
Yeah, roger that. And I mean that's what I'm doing too. But it's very intriguing because all the other stuff that you can do with it, with all the sounds and motion control and all that. But I mean, you're starting to talk about $300-400 engines, and even though you can get the DCC stuff for probably around $200 or $300.
Roger. It's like everything else. The price of your toys keeps going up.
Yeah, well, I don't need. It's like when Nancy says, "Well, go ahead and do it," and I said, "Nah, I'd rather have a radio."
then it becomes an antenna. If they pass a law that you could put a tower up or something in the subdivision there, other options present themselves.
Yeah, but when I saw I was on the net over the weekend, and I can't remember what I was looking up, but this advertisement came up for a vertical flagpole, and they have a 12, 16, 20, 25, I believe 35-foot flagpole that is actually a 160 through 6-meter antenna.
You know, that's a very real possibility. A lot of people have done that. A vertical is a solution, and I mean, you already got a good working horizontal, and if you add a vertical to it, that gives you a totally new dimension, and hey, you get a flagpole too, right?
Yeah, roger that. I'd have to like the darn thing, though. But the nice thing about it is they say you don't need any radials.
Hey, now you speak. What is it? I've got a gap vertical I haven't put up yet, and what that is basically a vertical dipole. Is that kind of what they're doing over?
Yeah, roger. The base splits it off, one to ground, and then the rest goes up the antenna.
Roger. Sounds good. Sounds exciting to me. That is a very real option. And do you have a place in the yard where you can put it, and also put a floodlight out there for the flag over?
Yeah, I can do that. The problem is where I want to put it is not necessarily suitable, because I want to put it on basically the west side of the house, so it's close to the radio room. Because any other thing, I'd have to tunnel underneath the driveway.
Roger, it's always something, isn't it? You know, that's a pain in the neck when you have to do that. But something might present itself. I mean, you know, you're not running that much coax, so if you have to go the long way around, so be it.
Yeah, roger. And I got a bunch of 9913, which is low-loss cable, so that I used to have over at the Richmond house.
Roger, it sounds like a plan. It sounds exciting. Okay, fine business. This is KD4CMK in Midlothian, Virginia for our Monday night Rag Chew group. Anybody else wish to join us, please come. Back to WW4F. Go ahead, Darryl. WW4F, KD4CMK. And 4CFM?
Yes, sir. KD4CMK, this is N4CFM. Well, John, I looked up that rig, and that's a nice looking rig. It's got two little displays on it, and that's kind of cool. I like that. I've always thought that ICOM was a good rig, and I've always been happy with the ones I've had. And but anyway, that's a nice looking rig, and man, to get it at a half price, you can't beat that. That's a real good thing. And by the way, Tom, I've been playing with HRD today, and PSK31. And I got it working real well, and we'll have to get together here whenever you can, and we'll play some more. So anyway, over to you, Tom. KD4CMK and 4CFM.
And 4CFM, KD4CMK. I've about decided that the problem I have with the offset is related to the radio. It has nothing to do with HRD, so I might just have to live with the offset. Over.
All right. Well, as long as you can see it coming down the waterfall and you bracket it, I don't know that it makes a whole lot of difference. Over.
Roger. We'll just see. I may end up calling Yazoo is beating my head against the wall, but I might call HRD and see what ideas they have. Over.
Well, that might work too. You know, it just seems like to me that today to get to somebody on the phone or on talk to them is like what's that old saying? Pulling hen's teeth. Over.
Probably have more luck during bird speaks.
Roger that. But talking about John's rig, that's a nice looking rig. I looked at it and it's I don't know. I got too many rigs, but that's a nice looking rig, and I wonder how the small display and how well the pan adapter works. That would be interesting to see how nice a pan adapter is, because the pan adapter on my 991 is about like grass, and the pan adapter on my Elcraft is okay, but the Flex has got the best picture of all. So anyway, maybe I should buy the Flex 1500, which is the $600 QRP rig. Over.
Okay, yeah, I know. Well, maybe, I don't know, well, John may be able to tell us, maybe you can use an external display, I don't know. Well, let's go to Tom here, KG4BIZ, CMK.
Yes, thank you very much, Tom, KG4CMK, KG4BIZ. You know, the 7610 there, I think Ricky has one, and you remember a couple of the rag chews we had, you had that weird sound coming in, and I asked Ricky, I said, well, would you mind maybe taking a picture of that with your phone and send it to me as an email? And he did, and I'm still on the search to use the information that I got from Tom, WB9 there, so that I can, he sent me a site that I can check all different kinds of signals and showing the waterfall, and I'm on the search to try to figure out what that sound is. But boy, is there a lot of signals out there, Tom. Endless. I may never find it, but I'm curious. So we're back to you, Tom. KD4CMK, KG4BIZ.
KG4BIZ, KD4CMK. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and, we aren't even talking about deliberate military stuff. Over.
Yeah, that's one of the things. My goodness, they have everything from anything to everything, and I don't know why I was surprised, but anyway, it was rather interesting. That particular 7610, you got a good one there, John. I hope it does you a good job for quite a few years. To spend that kind of money in something, though, everything it makes me happy that other people have them, so I can aggravate and ask questions about them. So with that being said, Tom, back to you. KD4CMK, KG4BIZ.
KG4BIZ, CMK. KX4QC, John. KX4QC, KD4CMK. WB4YMA.
Yeah, KD4CMK, WB4YMA. Sounds like some of the signals went away. Got some other strange signals on there, too, while Tom was talking, that's for sure. Let's see, don't know anything else going on. I'm working on a U.S. flag to put on the platform and a spotlight with that. But that'll be the next project after I get the signals working. And I say, most of the trains actually are working pretty good. I had all four of them running this afternoon, and they didn't jump the track and they didn't slow down. And the lights all worked. So that was a good thing. Back to you, Tom KD4CMK, WB4YMA.
WB4YMA, KD4CMK, the trains are probably themselves are probably the simplest thing in the whole system. This is KD4CMK in Midlothian, Virginia for a Monday Night Rag Chew. Anybody else wishes to join, please come.
K4CW.
K4CW, go ahead, Larry.
Hey, good evening, Tom, the rest of the guys. Well, I had just found you when you called me, Tom. I had just hit 3858 about the time you called. So I'm here, and did you get the pictures I sent you of Mars and Jupiter and its moons, Tom?
Roger that, I did. Thank you very, very much. I haven't printed them, but yes, sir, I sure got them. I printed the first one of Mars, but I haven't printed the second one yet. Over.
Okay. Well, the Mars one, it don't look, certainly not like one you'd get out of a 12, 14-inch scope. But, that's about the best I could do with my 6-inch. At least I got it, you can tell it's reddish colored kind of, so, and I annotated it with data right at that moment, so that would be pretty interesting to print just for the data alone, I guess. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, I think that, and I tell you what I did see when we looked through the scope there in your driveway live. I told you I thought I didn't see any detail, of course, but there was an area in the center, kind of around the center or north, that showed some darkness, a shading. And I looked at a picture somebody had taken on a big scope, and you could see that same thing, but it had more detail on it. So you get pretty good coverage. It surprises you. The human eye can pick out things sometimes that you may not know what it is you're seeing, but you know there's something there. Over.
Yeah, I know what you mean, exactly. And, I'm kind of amazed that, Mars is an extremely small planet as seen from Earth, even when it's closest, like it was when we saw it and I photographed it. It was, at the closest, it was only 22.7 arc seconds in diameter. And, there's 60 arc seconds in a minute, and then 60 minutes in a degree. So the full moon is about 30 arc minutes. So 30 times 6, that's 1,800 arc seconds the moon is when it's full, and Mars is only 22.7 arc seconds. So it kind of shows you how small it really is as seen from Earth. And when it gets on the other side of the sun from Earth, it gets down to about 3 arc seconds in diameter, which is very tiny. Back to you, Tom.
Roger that, but I tell you, I don't think I'll ever forget the initial Saturn view. That's the first time I've ever seen Saturn with the rings, and that is spectacular. And I mean, it's sitting there, and it had rings, and I think that's wonderful, Larry.
Yeah, well, the next time we look at Saturn, believe it or not, I found my 2X Barlow today, so we'll put the Barlow in between the eyepiece and the scope, and that'll enlarge the size of it by 2, which will double the size of it. So looking forward to getting back out there and doing that and see what it looks like through that Barlow lens. Go ahead.
We can do the 8-inch if you feel like we can handle it.
Well, I know we can handle it. We might, being old high-feeble men like we are, we might have to one off pick up one end and another the other end, but we'll get it up there. Go ahead.
Roger, that's what I'm thinking. That's one reason I don't do anything with it, is I can't lift the blasted thing.
Yeah, I had an 8-inch Meade LX200 for a number of years, and that's the reason I sold it and bought this 6-inch Celestron. I'll tell you what, after I had those last 2 back surgeries back in 2013, man, I didn't feel like I could pick up 5 pounds without it about killing me, you know. And that 8-inch meat, I think it weighed 60-some pounds. So that's a lot of weight to hold out in front of you trying to get it on a tripod or a wedge. I had a wedge with mine where I could do some serious astrophotography. And, of course, you had to polar align it before you started, you know. But you didn't have, with an Alta azimuth like I've got, and I think yours is like that, too. I don't believe you have a wedge for yours either. You know, if you go more than about 15 seconds exposure time, you start seeing little jumps, you know, little up jump, right jump, up jump, right jump, you know, and it looks kind of weird. Go ahead.
Roger. Yeah, mine, even though it has a GPS in it, I don't have a wedge, so I will have that problem. And I haven't updated the GPS or anything in years, so who knows?
Well, the GPS should be fine because all it's doing is receiving the signals from the GPS and converting them into coordinates, you know. So that should be okay. And I've never had a GPS on a scope. I've always fed in my coordinates manually. Of course, I got the coordinates of where I'm at with a GPS, but it was a pretty nice GPS that I paid about $700 for to fly with. So I'm sure the coordinates are pretty darn accurate. So I'd always feed those. And in fact, when I was aligning it and getting it to track in Mars when you were over here, I fed in 37 degrees and 26 minutes and 20 seconds for the latitude, and 36 degrees, 33 minutes, and 33 seconds for the longitude. That's what it actually is right there in my driveway where I was standing. So, and it must have been right because it really tracked nice. Go ahead.
Sure did. It sure did, Larry. Okay, well, let me see if anybody else is joining us. This is KD4CMK in Midlothian, Virginia for Monday Night Rag Chew. Does anybody else want to join us? Please come. All right, back to WW4F. Daryl.
KD4CMK from WW4F in the group. It's good signals. Listening everybody tonight. Got a good copy on everyone. The band's not in bad shape. And I guess the thing I've been working on is my little SDR rig, integrating the Hermes Light 2 with the high performance SDR controller. And this weekend I was working on connections to bring out the antenna connection and the push to talk for an external amplifier and power connections internally. The Hermes Light 2 was designed to be standalone. It's on standalone enclosure. So if you integrate it, you want to have connectors in between the controller board and the Hermes Light 2. So just fixing that up with power and had to make some changes and unsolder some connectors and rotate them and turn them in another direction and make contacts again. And so getting that set up and also have an Ethernet connection. So I needed to get an Ethernet jumper that was only 6 inches long that I can connect the two out. That'll be the one external connection because I don't know how to bypass the Ethernet connectors on board. So it's just continue to gather parts up and get that all assembled. And I've had it working, but now get it working as one unit. So that's been some of the radio work I've been doing over the past few days. Back to you, Tom. KD4CMK from WW4F.
Roger, WW4F, KD4CMK. Can't wait to see and to talk to you on it when you get it in operation. That sounds rather exciting. No matter how many radios you have, something new like that is always exciting. And for CFM, Terry.
Alrighty, KD4CMK, it's N4CFM. Well, Larry, if you've got a pencil, there is. I don't know whether you would ever want to use it, but the Elecraft does have a sound card, and if you go to the menu, to the main, not the main menu, but the configuration menu, and you look up K103B, that is the soundboard for the K3. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that it was there, and I went back and I went back and used the sound card off of my laptop here, and that's how I got the HRD working. So I've got it working now, and I've also got the Signal Link working. So I've been playing with it, and it just takes a little while, and it all comes together, I guess. And so that works out real well. Anyway, back to you, Tom. KD4CMK, it's N4CFM.
Well, N4CFM, KD4CMK. Well, at least you got a working one. Now when I try to talk to you, we're not dealing with two unknowns. So this is good. John sits back and and chuckles at us, and Larry, who they've covered all these bases, but some of us are challenged when it comes to digital things on computers. At any rate, KD4BIZ, KD4CMK.
Thank you very much, Tom. KD4CMK, KD4BIZ. Here's a question for Paul. Paul, if you can comment me, how big is the layout of your trains? Over.
5x9.
You get that, Tom?
I did not, because Paul dropped back there. What happened?
He said 5x9.
5x9. Does he have that stacked, I wonder? Like, is there mountains? Over?
Yeah, I've got two on the base level and one on a mountain run around the top of the track.
All right, I heard it over there, Tom. For some reason, Paul dropped back, but it's a 5x9, and I didn't pick up on whether he had mountains or hills or anything like that. I'll tell you what, Terry, you interceded there. What was it, over?
He has mountains and hills and all kinds of things there, Tom.
Well, maybe he could send me a picture of that to my email account. It's my call at Comcast.net. If you pass it back to him, Terry, over.
WB4YMA, KD4CMK. Tom wants you to send him a picture of your layout.
Yeah, roger that. But what I know it says call sign, and I think he said Comcast, but then I didn't hear the last part.
His call and Comcast.net. Is that correct, Tom?
That's affirmative with my call in the front. Over.
You got it. No problem. We will get a couple out to you. You'll be sorry you asked for it.
Roger that. The noise is getting a little difficult, but maybe it'll improve a little bit. BIZ, did you get? Paul was able to copy. Is that all over?
Yes. Thank you very much. It's 5x9 board, mountains, hills, and so forth, and the picture were explained the best, and the rest there, Tom. The other question I had for you, the 8-inch scope that you have, why does that make it so heavy? Over. That's for you, Tom, KD4CMK.
They're heavy because the mirror is heavy and the material it's made out of is heavy. That mirror is very large piece of glass. Over.
Okay, and now what's the diameter? I know the mirror is 8 inches, but the outside overall dimension of the house housing. What's that dimension over?
A couple inches more than that, plus you're dealing with a tube that is, I don't know, 20 inches long, maybe. I don't know off the top of my head. Over.
Oh, okay. All right. What's the model number of the one that you're talking about, Tom?
LX200 GPS.
200 GPS. Okay. Is that a Meade? Over?
That's a Meade.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I'll have to research that. I'm curious to see why the wait. But, hey, if you and Larry have a time toting it, oh, my gosh. Just curious. Tom, thank you very much there. And to Paul in South Carolina, as well as Larry, some of that's direct to you too, KD4CMK, KD4PIZ, and Terry, November 4, Charlie, Foxtrot, Mike. So I'll turn it back to you, Tom. Over.
BIZ, also remember that anything that big, it's on a fork. And you've got geared motors, and the whole thing rotates, and you've got electronics, and the frame itself is heavy metal, not plastic. So there's a lot of weight involved in something like that. And when you get up to the 12 and 14 inches, you're talking multi-hundred pounds of them.
Oh, okay. All right. I take it. What's the power source, over?
Internal a whole bunch of D-cell batteries or external supply, over.
Oh, okay. All right. That explains it. I'll go ahead and Google it and check from there, Tom. Certainly appreciate it. Very interesting. Okay, I'll turn it back to you. KD4CMK, KD4BIZ.
Okay, BIZ. KX4QC, John.
Hi, group. Looks like there's quite some interest in astronomy. On behalf of the Richmond Astronomical Society, a whole lot of you are invited to our meeting tomorrow. It's online on Zoom. Details are at richastro.org. Just type it as it sounds, richastro.org, O-R-G. And we're starting at 7 o'clock, and if you go to the website, you'll see some very fine planetary photos. There's some of Mars, including one kind of cool one with both of its satellites plainly visible, as well as surface detail on the planet, and other ones of detailed shots of the planet. Otherwise, there have been a couple of our club astronomers dueling it out on the Veil Nebula, and their pictures really are quite spectacular. There's lots of info there for anybody